All right. Let's see here. Just gonna open up chat. Hello. What's going on? Let's see. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Cool, cool. All right. Well, hey there, everyone. Today, we are going to be doing a little more involved track here. We're going to be making a song in the style of the Black Keys. So I'm going to start off on drums. I'm going to move over to guitar in just a little bit. So, welcome. I think this is going to be a good one today. The Black Keys have been a band that I've been listening to for a very long time. I think the first time that I heard of them was on the School of Rock soundtrack back in 2003, because they had a great track off of their album Thick Freakness that landed in that soundtrack, and is still my favorite movie pretty much of all time. So let's talk about the Black Keys a little bit. So, the Black Keys are a band from Akron, Ohio, hailing from the Midwest. And they put out their first record, The Big Come Up, in 2002. This is a great record. It's got just some of my favorite songs on it by them. I remember they have a song on here called The Breaks, and I named one of my high school bands after that song because we really, really liked it. So that's that. That came out in 2002, which they followed up with the album Thick Freakness in 2003, which was, this is probably one of their most solid albums that they came out with. It's just full of bangers. And I love it. Moving on from there, they came out with Rubber Factory and Magic Potion in 2004 and 2006, respectively. And Rubber Factory is a very well thought out record. Whereas Magic Potion, while I like a lot of the songs on it, it feels but it feels a bit more empty than their previous three records. Just from the production style, there was not too much in the way of low end. Usually, with bands that don't have a bass player, you really have to pump up the kick drum and the low end of the guitar. And for some reason on this record, it didn't really come through all that much. But I still really love a lot of the songs on it. From there, they did a total shift on their album Attack and Release, which came out in 2008. Produced by Danger Mouse, this record was basically a full band record. I mean, they put a lot of other instruments on it other than just guitar and drums and vocals, which is what their first four albums were comprised of. And I like some of the songs on here, but it's kind of an odd listen. Like, this is a harder album to get into. I mean, it's got the singles, it's got I Got Mine, it's got Psychotic Girl on it, and these are great songs, but if you want to get into the album as a whole, this album may take a few listens before you get into it. And following that up, arguably their best record they put out was Brothers in 2010. This record is, again, another full band type record, but it just has so much more flavor to it. Like, it feels like they are a solid unit on this record, and the songs are very reminiscent of that. I mean, it's 15 tracks. I think it's their longest album to date, and it just is a powerhouse of a record. One of my favorite things about this when it came out is that the disc itself is black until you put it in your CD player, where the disc heats up, and then it actually has heat sensitive text on it. Nope. Maybe it's worn off. I don't know. This album's old. I wonder if that's a thing that, will deteriorate over time. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get it. But anyway, they followed that up with El Camino, which it's all right. It's all right. It's definitely a pop record. They tried to go pop. They succeeded. They got Gold on the Ceiling. They got Lonely Boy. They got Little Black Submarines. Great singles, but it just felt a little less like a unit than the last album did. Like, the last album felt like they really had a purpose, whereas with this album it feels like they were just kind of trying to play the charts a little bit. But I did like it when it came out. I haven't really gone back to it since. And then their last record was Turn Blue in 2015, which I was not a big fan of. It took everything that I didn't like about El Camino and kind of expounded on it. So I didn't actually pick up that record myself. At that point too, streaming was coming in, so I listened to it there and didn't really have a great opinion of it. Oh, Hunter is here. He says, flavor. Yes. Today is all about flavor. Today is a flavor day. Today is going to be wonderful, wonderfully full of flavor. Give me 1 sec here, because I'm just going to check how the audio is on the stream. Perfect. All right. Again, if at any point today any of the audio starts clipping, just let me know, because I can just turn that down. I had some issues with that on the last stream, but want to make sure that I'm coming through nice and clear, especially for people who are going to watch this after on YouTube. So, let's get into it. Let me talk about how I've set up the drums for recording. I'm going with a 3-mic setup here today. So I have put a kind of cheap condenser mic down by the kick drum for my kick drum mic, because I want to get some of that nice low end boom coming off the kick drum to kind of supplement for where the bass would be. And then my overhead, I got a tip from my sound engineer friend Evan, who we were listening to some of the Black Keys tracks, and I was asking him, how do you think they did the drums on this if they were just in a basement? And he said, you can always start with just putting a 57 over the kit as your overhead, because it's a mic that most people are going to have, even if they're just starting out recording, and it's going to take a lot of sound, and because the Black Keys drum sounds are pretty bombastic, I think this will do well. I've put it right over the snare drum, and I'm going to see how much I can just get out of that. And then the last mic that I'm using is just a dynamic across the way as a room mic, just to kind of get that full sound if I need it. So I have an extra mic for a little bit more of the full kit sound. So I have set up, let me do Streamception real quick, because this is always fun. All right, and Streamception! Woo woo! Okay, and then let me go to Logic. Cool. So we've got, I've already set up the kick, overhead, and room mic. I've just made tracks for the guitar solo, and the vocals. I haven't really done anything to them as of yet. But yeah, let's take a look here. I'm thinking of a song that we're gonna write today is gonna be more. It's gonna be a little bit bluesier. It's gonna be hearkening back to stuff mainly from like their first 2 records, like on Thick Freakness and The Big Come Up. It's a simpler way to write songs. I feel like if I did a song in the style of the Black Keys nowadays, it would be less representative of their like soul that they have as a band, in terms of what they came from and what the most bare bones kind of way to approach doing a Black Keys song would be. And when people think about the Black Keys, they think the 2 members, just drums, just guitar, just vocals, and I think that's a good place to start. So I'm gonna be doing a pretty old style Black Keys song today, and we'll see where that goes. So the drum beat that I'm thinking, and I gotta be careful here because I'm using my talkback mic and I don't want to blow everybody out into the water. I'm just gonna do kind of a nice walking beat with a guitar riff that's gonna be pretty groovin', singular note type deal. So the drums are gonna be. Oh, I also forgot to mention. I don't know how well you can see it, but I have a floor tom over here on my left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. Patrick Carney, the drummer for the Black Keys, is and was known for playing his kit. At least in the early days, he did not have his floor tom over on the right side. He had it on the left side. And yeah, just kind of a stylistic choice on his part, but I'm going to try to play in that way and see what happens with it. So, without further ado, let's get some drum tracks down. I'm liking that. Let's do it. All right. Just checking the stream there real quick just to make sure it's all coming through nicely. And it looks like it is. So here we go. Let's see what we can do with this. All right, I'm going to stop there for a sec. I'm not sure I like what I'm doing on the choruses. I've got kind of a guitar part I'm thinking in my head, and I want to make sure that the drum parts are going to match up with that. So let me see here. It's like... Yeah, let me turn on this mic real quick. All right, I think I like that a little bit better. And I think I'm going to, yeah, do that, and then, oh, I just had something. Anyway, yeah, got to make that first verse a little bit longer as well. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I am going to up the tempo just a little bit because it still feels a little bit sluggish. Just a little bit below what I think it should be at. So we'll start that again and see what we can do. All right. All right. Let's do this thing. All right, one more try. And maybe just a little bit faster as well. Yeah, let's go up to 156. Okay, that feels good. All right, back to it. Also, throw down in the comments who's with us at the moment. Would love to say hello while I record. Hi, Max. What am I doing? That chorus is just messing me up. Okay, I think I've got it. Once more into it. Let's do it. All right, that feels pretty good to me. I'm liking how the drums feel pretty loose. Patrick Carney's drum playing, while he's not like the most amazing drummer I've ever seen in the world, he has a very like succinct pocket that he sits in on these records, and it evokes basically believing that they might have recorded the original stuff all in the same room together, because it has that very kind of like no click, almost like human quality to it. Now, I know I was using a click, but I don't have a guitarist to play against. But so having that kind of behind the beat dig that Patrick Carney has is important in this too, where everything feels like it's just a little slow, like somebody just kind of put a quarter on a record as it was going around. So doing that, yeah, I think that drum track is gonna work well. Let's listen to it for just a second, and then if we deem it good, then I am going to switch gears and switch around my setup over to guitar, which, you know, I have to unplug stuff, and it's going to be quiet for like 2 minutes while I get everything back in working order, but that is okay, because it'll give you guys time to, like, you know, go to the bathroom, or, you know, get a drink, or you know, send some emails, or do what you do. So let's listen back to this and see what we think. Now, this is unmixed. I haven't touched this at all. This is just the raw stems of what I just did. Later on in the stream, I'm probably going to do some mixing. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the stream after I'm done recording all of the stuff and kind of do what I've done in past weeks. But I think in this week, I want to give a try to doing a mix stream for the song as well, because I always mix these songs after the fact. So I'm going to try that out today as well. Trying mixing on stream a little bit more. It might be a little odd because I can't have the talkback mic on while I'm doing it if I'm doing it out of speakers, but it'll be good because I can talk about stuff still. So we'll figure all that out. Let's take a listen to the drum track here. All right, sounds good to me. It's definitely thin right now, but I did some testing earlier before this, and I think that putting the cheap condenser on the kick drum is going to help out quite a bit. And I'll get some stereo spreads going on this and kind of try to widen the sound of that kit a little bit and use that room mic as some reverb and maybe put a plate in there or something. But that's all to come. So right now, what I am going to do is, you'll still be seeing the stream going. It's just going to go quiet as I move over to the guitar station. So I'm going to pop over Streamception, and I'm going to make this whole thing me. Hi. Hello. All right. Let's head on over to the guitar station. It's going to go quiet for just a second. Don't worry about it. I got this. I got to close out Logic. I'm going to save that project, and then we're going to close it out. So I will see you in just a minute as I move over here. Aha! I am back. Yes. Hello. Okay. So, here I am, in my little guitar corner, and yeah, we're gonna see here what we can do with the guitar. So, what I have is I've got my, oh, there's the phone. I'm glad that didn't go off when I was recording drums. Did it? Did it go off? Well, while I was recording. I don't know. I might have to, no, I don't have to redo anything. Okay. So let's see. I've got down here, I've got my pedals that I'm going to be using today. So I've got just a Boss tuner to tune. I've got a Ibanez Tube Screamer, I've got a Dan Electro Overdrive, and I've got a DoD Classic Tube Distortion just in case I need a little more grunge in my mix. So this is what I'll be using as my effects. I'm also going through the Fender Deluxe Reverb amp, which is wonderful. Yeah, so let's see, what can I do with this guitar? Let's get a nice little camera area. All right, now I'm going to stand up for this one. So let's get that going right there. Okay. I've got my new Fender Duosonic that I am going to be using today for this as well. And yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's go back to Logic. Let's get back to Logic here. Oh, Streamception! Okay, no more Streamception. So let's turn off these three. So those are the drums. And let's see. So I've got the guitar. I'm using just a Shure 7B microphone as my guitar cabinet microphone, because it's a dynamic. It's not wild that, you know, that would be what they recorded with. But they probably did like a 57 or something like an E609. But I was using the E609 as my room mic, so can't really destroy that one. Somebody says turn your mic on. I'm hoping you can hear me at this point. Let me just check the stream. Yep. Okay. So I'm definitely on now. Nerdy McGeek says, "Wow, cool guitar. I love it in orange. It's so nice in orange. It's just it feels like you're playing a creamsicle. It's absolutely wonderful." Nerdy McGeek, that is also a wonderful name. Let me turn the amp on. All right. Now I'm not going to go through the vintage setting on the amp. I'm just going to go through the custom input just because the vintage was not giving me enough low that I need for this kind of thing. And also with the vintage setting, I can, you know, use the reverb and whatnot. Oh, I should probably get off this page so you stop seeing everything. Okay. All right. Starting to come on. Nice. We're gonna have some fun times today. Yeah. Oh, Streamception. Okay. So what I want to do with this, why is this not? Do I have something on? Is something the matter? Just as it warmed up, maybe? Anything? Anybody? Anybody there? Anybody home? All right. Let me figure out why this is not working. This is an amp. This should be the easy part. Something is the matter with the Daddy-O Dan Electro pedal. When it's off, I'm fine. But when it's on, I don't have it. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be that it ran out of battery from being plugged in. So let me fix that right now. While I'm doing that and trying to find this piece, let me tell you a little bit about what kind of tone I'm going for. So the tone that I'm going for on this particular track is kind of going to be a fuzzed out type sound, but that doesn't have too much reverb. That's pretty clean. I want to keep it just kind of buzzing. There we go. All right, now we're talking. Now let's see. Let's just see how loud that is. All right, so now let us get into this microphone here on the amp. Let's see here. All right, somebody created a clip. I'm gonna have to see what that was after the stream. All right, let me turn off my talkback and just get working on this microphone here. Alright, everything's sounding good on the stream. Let me just get a little bit of compression going just so I have a little more volume on that. Let's do a vintage. Let's get a little bit more output. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it's seeming to be pretty good. So the main line of this song that I'm going to be working with is this. Yeah, let's see if I can do that. So that's like the main line of the song, and then the chorus is just kind of a fuzzed out, which is why I wanted to get the drum beat right on the chorus, is because it's going to go something like this. So a lot of the Black Keys guitar riffs that kind of made them, you know, famous for what they're doing is that it's almost like the guitar riff is doing a bass line. Like, it's just kind of a melody line. A lot of single note stuff, like at least some of their bigger hits, you know, like I've Got Mine is very single note driven. But in terms of this, you know, there's not too many songs where they use like full guitar chords. It's kind of trying to play both the bass and the guitar at the same time. So let's see. Let's get a recording of this down, and then go from there. Because then I can start mixing stuff and adding that guitar solo, that sweet guitar solo that we all want. We all know we want it. And I'm terrible at guitar solos, so we'll see how much I can make this sound like some sort of Black Keys thing. There's probably going to be a lot of distortion hanging on it. But anyway, let's get this guitar track down, and then we can work from there. I didn't turn my guitar on. There it is. Alright, let's do it again. But first I'm gonna undo, so it doesn't give me just a bunch of recordings that I have to sift through. Alright. Let's see. Ooh. Didn't like that. Anyway. I can do better than that. Let's do this. All right. I think that does it for the guitar track. I mean, I didn't really mess up, but even if I did a little bit, that's kind of the style, is that it's not perfect, you know? And I think that might be kind of what had a little bit downturn on my liking their latest record, just because it all seemed very studio polished, and a lot of those first records just were not, and it kind of gave this raw energy to it. So if I've got a couple mistakes in there, meh, you know, let it be that. All right. Yeah, I'm really gonna have to pump up that kick, but I think that shouldn't be an issue. I think that shouldn't be an issue because when I checked it initially, it looked like everything was sounding nice and good, and I can EQ and compress and do all the good things to it. But yeah, all right. So now let's see what I can do with a guitar solo. What's your favorite Black Keys song or an album? Good question. I talked a little bit about it in the beginning of the video, or at the beginning of the stream. I kind of went through a lot of the records that I loved, but I think my favorite is always going to be Brothers. I think that there's kind of two sides to Black Keys albums: Attack and Release to Turn Blue, and the big come up to Magic Potion. Notably because after Magic Potion, they kind of went with a full band sound on the studio recordings. But I think Brothers is always going to be my favorite. It just has solid songs, and even though there's full band on it, it still has that kind of thrown together quality. And I mean, they recorded the album at Muscle Shoals Studios, which was not operational, so they basically brought in all of their gear. I mean, they were basically doing what I'm doing here. You know, it was just an empty room. It just happened to be in that room there used to be a studio. So I really love Brothers. But I think in terms of their earlier records as well, I'd probably it's kind of split between Thick Freakness and Rubber Factory, because Rubber Factory has some great ballads on it too. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Let's see what we want to do with a guitar solo, because I want it to kind of be a lazy guitar solo, kind of like, you know, just a crying, lazy guitar solo. So let's see here. What can I do with that? So we're gonna put this guitar solo in the verse before the last chorus, so let's find that. Right there. Okay. Let's do this thing. Now, I've got to find a sound for this solo, because I don't want it to be exactly the same tone as what I just did on the guitar. So let me see here. That was that tube distortion pedal. Not to be confused with the Tube Screamer. I've still got that on because it's a nice little... It's got a nice twang to it. But let's see if I can turn the overdrive up a little bit and get a nice silkier tone. I'm also on the... I also have switched. So, I'm there. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. I didn't loop it far enough. Let me just see where I need to loop it to. Aha! One more. Thank you. Thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Let's do this again. Should probably turn off this microphone. One of those has to work, right? It's gotta be. It's just gotta be. Let's take a listen through some of them, shall we? All right. So that one's not bad. I like that. Let's hear the other one. Yeah, we'll go with take 3. Okay. I'm good with that. All right. So now, let's do just a little bit of mixing, shall we? All right. Let me just take this guy down, and let me remove some headphones real quick. All right. So, let's just see how I'm looking here. Oh, streamception! Okay, wonderful. Now, I've got, as you can see now, an SM58 microphone. Probably the most common vocal mic used, everywhere. Like, if you don't have one of these mics, or at least like a clone of one of these mics, I don't know, you just have not begun recording at all, or you're not interested in recording. I mean, they're in movies, you've seen them, everybody's got one of these. Shout out to Shure Microphones. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the vocals on these, but I'm going to be doing kind of a filter effect on the vocals. I'm probably going to pull up kind of an amp modeling thing in Logic and try to figure out, what kind of sound his vocals are going for. So let me undo this guy here, and let me plug in my other microphone, which is here. Okay. So now if I make this guy's input 1, lovely. Let's go all the way back to the start of the song. All right. How are we doing? All right. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Now that is full on. That is the fullest thing. So I'm just going to take it back to right about here, because I'm probably not going to be singing directly onto it like I would if I was going to be playing a show. Okay. For anybody who's watching or is in the chat, if you want to throw in the chat, if you want to throw just some Black Keys-esque lyrics at me, I'll try to fit them into the song, because I have not yet written anything vocally for this song. And mostly it's just going to be in the verses. The choruses in a lot of Black Keys songs are usually just guitar and drums. Like, they're kind of vocalist choruses for the most part, or at least in the songs that I'm thinking of. So, again, just go and check me. Okay, I look good. Okay, we good. Okay. But for the most part, or for a good amount of their songs, the chorus is kind of led by the guitar, or what you would call like the refrain or whatnot. So let's get some modeling going on this microphone. Let's pull up Amp Designer. Whoa! And suddenly there's a delay. I can't even talk. There we go. Okay. Now I'm back to normal. Gosh, I hate that. There's a name for that effect. If anybody knows what it's called when your own voice is getting fed back to you at a delayed time, and it like makes you sound drunk because you can't, your vocals, it sounds like they're slowing down. I don't know. There's a phrase for it. Google it. Put it in chat. I believe in you. Okay. So let's see. Do I like this? Let's turn that reverb off, because I'm not going to need that. This is a little too much. Let's see what I can do here. No, I don't want any reverb. A random biker says hi. Hi, a random biker. How are you? All right, this might be it. I kind of like this tone. Let's see what I can do. Ooh, there's a lot of S in there. Can I get that out with oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, yeah, I like that. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see. We have the dynamic 20 on it, which is pretty good. Let's do the U87. How is that sounding? Still a little bit there. Delayed auditory feedback. Speech jamming. Yeah. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate you putting that in. A random biker says that they're not bad. They just shared their first ever track in Logic to a couple friends of mine to see what they think. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that you are sharing what you're making. That is very good to hear. And I'm glad to hear it. All right. So let's see where I'm going. And of course I'm gonna try to do the voice and see how exact I can try to make it. So if I take the treble down on this just a little bit, okay, that's a little bit better. Let's turn the gain, not too much. Okay, let's just get the master volume up a little bit, and let's see if I can make a. Let's get a reverb. Let's do Space Designer. Let's do a vocal plate. Hello? Hello? Ooh, that's a lot. All right. Shoot. Where's my... Gosh, I thought I knew how to do this. Okay. Okay. Let's get that. Why is that not working? Okay. Come on. Where's my freaking thing? Let's see. Can I do a see if I make bus 1. I just do that. Then I can choose just how much of that. Back in the day. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Cool. I think that's going to work for me, and I'll do some more EQing. But let's see. Let me get a notepad and some paper, just so I can write down all of the stuff I'm thinking about for lyrics. All right, perfect. And even more perfect is the notebook. It's when in doubt, C4, because Mythbusters. You know how it is. All right. So, for lyrics, let's take this guy off here. So for lyrics, Anybody have any suggestions on a topic or something? You know, a lot of their songs are maybe about women, but I don't really want to go into that because I feel like I could write about something else. We could do just kind of a generalized malaise type, song of him being tired, which, they've done that in the past as well. So let's see. I think I know what the refrain is going to be. Somebody's using the restroom. How lovely. Alright, Hunter says talk about men. Oh, in a way, if he's talking about himself, wouldn't that mean that we're talking about men? Hold on, how do I look right now? Streamception. Oh, I can bring this down just a little bit. Okay. Alright. All right, let's try a first verse here. I've got some stuff written down and see what you think, and just let me know. So I've misjudged my length of verse, which is okay. I just gotta put something else in there. So let's give this a try. Check, check. Yeah. Still a little too nice, but we'll fix that. Don't worry. Oh, we will fix that. I said undo. I said undo. And I said undo. Okay, there we go. All right. Keep this last chorus here. Okay, that's basically, you know, what I'm going on here. I think I just kind of ad-libbed the second verse, but I think it works. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to duplicate this track, and I'm just going to double those chorus vocals, because I think that will work nicely. Oh, yeah, yeah. Liking it. All right, let's do the other chorus. Yeah. Oh. It kind of sounds a little bit weird right now, just because I haven't mixed the rest of the track. But trust me, I'm gonna seat these in a nice fashion into the mix. So let's go here. Yeah. Oh. I'm all alone, just on my own. I'm all alone. And the last one. I'm all alone, just on my own. I'm all alone, just on my own. Let's get that last little yeah. Yeah. You got to put in the random yep. Cool. For anybody who's just joining, I am Treeskin. We're making a song in the style of the Black Keys. Completely original song. I'm not covering anything. I'm just kind of writing a song that they might write. So I've done pretty much everything on this track in terms of recording it. So I think it's nearly time to start mixing. So let's do a little bit of the mix. All right. Let's see. Can I make this? Can I make this my talk back? Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go. Hi. Okay. Sounding better again. Also, if you're wondering, let me just see what you can see. Oh, you can't really see it. Streamception. And this house is under construction at the moment, so there's like sheets of plastic all over everything. Yeah, it's kind of a mess at the moment. There's actually a hole in the ceiling over there, so I've, I was thinking of putting up a mic like in the kitchen where there's like nothing at the moment, just to like capture the reverb. But then I was like, you know, you're already kind of nerdy. You should probably not make yourself do that much work. But so there's all this. Can I move? I can comp this, right? Yeah. Okay, no, we're good. We good. Okay. Sweet. All right, let's do a little bit of mixing, just so you can kind of hear the song. I'm gonna do some more mixing later, and I might open up the stream again, just for mixing, once I get all of that in place that I want to. But for now, we're just gonna do some headphone mixing. So, let me just check what the stream looks like. Okay, that's wonderful. You can basically see everything that you need to see. Okay. So if at any point you're having a hard time hearing me or things are peaking, just let me know, because I'm only one person. If I don't, my biggest thing is I don't want the stream to peak, because that would be bad for future viewing on YouTube. So let us turn up the beats, and yeah, let's see here. Can I get this? Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the drums real quick. I'm liking how that snare sounded. Let's just solo the kick real quick, because I want to hear what that is what that is all about. So let's get a compressor on there. Let's do a vintage, because everything about the Black Keys is vintage. And let's also do a channel EQ. Let's get that rocking. All right. Wet Socks 4 asks, yo dude, do you know if I could get Serum for free? Not familiar with Serum. I don't know if I can help you there. Wait, Serum. Is that a plugin? I don't know. What is Serum again? Remind me. Drawing a blank. All right, let's make this punchy as hell. 2K, just about. Yes, it's a plugin. I don't know if you can get Serum for free then. I'm definitely not going to advocate going to any torrent sites, because that is against the law. But I thought, like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what oh, it's for dubstep, you know. I am not too familiar. Though I would say, throw it over to my buddy Syncopate. If you go to his channel, he does a lot more EDM type stuff in his streams, and may actually be able to help you with your Serum conundrum. Unless you're just trolling me and I'm just like not getting it, but that's okay. Either way, head on over to Syncopate. I think he's doing stuff under his name now, or at least his Instagram is under Jameson Lyons, I think. So yeah, check him out. He's awesome. He's always plugged me on his stuff, and I always plug him. We talk back and forth and share stuff that we're doing. And hopefully he's jumped on at some point. I'm gonna message him later tonight to get on the mixing stream. But this right now, I'm just kind of doing the you know, like a general mix, so we can listen to a rough version of the song before y'all have to go. So let's see. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And yeah, I can attempt to ask any question, but if not, I will always send it over to somebody else. I'm liking the punch of that kick drum. And now I'm wondering what I want to do with this overhead, because the snare sound on the overhead that I'm getting with that SM57 directly above the snare drum is sounding pretty good. I'm gonna get a little compression going. Again, using a vintage because it's in the name. And then let me get my EQ out and ready. But then also let me just throw on a stereo spread to see what that's gonna sound like too, because it's a mono mic, and I just want to give it kind of a little more, space in the record. All right, that's sounding good. Now let's see what I've got on this room mic here. Oh, let's turn that up. My goodness. All right. Actually, let me just hit that with a little bit of gain first off. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't need that. I've got so much room here. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see. So I'm getting some nice high-end out of that microphone, so let's see what it sounds like back in context. Is that just that one that's making... Let me get a loop. And then we will see what we're dealing with. Okay. Okay, let's put it in context. Oh, this is getting good. Okay. Yeah! Okay, so I've got the drums in a good place. I can mess with that overhead a little bit more if I need some more cymbal, but I think the kick drum has got enough punch, and I think that the snare is sounding good, and the room mic is doing good as well. And I kind of like the fact that it sounds like I recorded it in a basement, because I recorded it in a basement. And those earlier albums by the Black Keys were either recorded in basements or abandoned rubber factories, and it's like, you know, they were not recording in places with proper, like, you know, acoustic treatment and whatnot. They were just kind of recording in wherever they could record, which is great. So let's take a look at how the guitar is sitting on this, because I want to give it a little more oomph up front. That sounded pretty good. Let's mess with the pan. So that guitar sounds good. Let's mess with the guitar solo, because that was very low when it was coming in. So let's see here. Yeah, there's like, it's barely even there. Okay. Scales my compressor. Because I think to get the vintage compressor. Yes. Yes, quite. We are working with a vintage compressor that has only been described as a vintage FET. It's used on only the highest of quality recordings, this of which is not one. Let's see. I'm starting to like the feel. Let's see if I can mess with that spread a little bit. I'm gonna pull up this the pedal board because I feel like I couldn't quite get what I wanted with the pedals that I had going into it, but I've got a good starting point. So let's see if I can loop a boy and see what kind of different effects I can get out of this. So. I'm just kind of messing with a bunch of different fuzz pedals here. Like, I feel like if I do that, then I might need to let me mess with the regular guitar a little bit and see what I can do with some pedals on that. Nope, no, and definitely not. There's so much of the artifact of the, you know, the radioactive static in the background. I'm not super liking that, but let's see what I can do. Hear what that sounds like on a chorus. Ew, what was that? Weird artifact. All right. Let's see here. I don't know. I think I might just keep it as it were. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Let's see. When it goes away. Yeah. get rid of all these guys. Let me see if that grid will work on. So I want to match what I think I'm having the hardest issue with, and maybe I'll do this a little bit more in the mixing stream later, is that I need to make that solo not be jarring when it goes away. So I'm looking for a way to get the more gritty sound that I want out of that guitar without it sounding weird when it leaves. So let's see what we got. Let's see what we can work through. I'll only spend like a couple more minutes on this, and if I can't totally get it, then we'll figure something else out. Let's see how the end of that goes into there. Yeah, you see, I need to EQ these a little bit more. I think I kind of like that tone on the solo. Okay, I was just checking the stream real quick, making sure I'm not peeking. Okay, this is starting to look very good. Let me see if I can get a little more presence in those drums. Okay, working on compression on the vocals at the moment. Let's see how these pop. Alright, I need a little more pop on that and maybe a little less reverb. I mean, like, oh, I mean, I'm liking this. I'm liking this, and it's good for a rough mix. So I think we're almost nearly at the end of the stream, because I'm gonna do a little bit more mixing. Let's see here, and then we'll play the track in its entirety, and I'll clean it up in the after stream, which hopefully I'll do, unless something comes up, and you know, if that happens, well, I'll try to do something next time for you guys. Okay, so let's see here. A little bit more in that overhead because I want that snare to really come out a little bit more. Let's see here. Hello? Hello, hello? All right. There's still a little bit of a shrillness going on in those vocal tracks, so let me see. Let's see what's going on. I'm all alone, just on my own. I'm all alone, just on my own. Yeah. I'm all alone. Doesn't really seem to be too much in the way of weird frequencies going on there, but I'll do some more of that later. I'm all alone, just on my own. I'm all alone, just on my own. So, now, it's that time of the stream where I say farewell, and thank you for being with me today as I compose and record a song in the style of the Black Keys. I'm pretty sure that this song is going to be called All Alone unless they already have a... Hold on. Just gonna make sure real quick, running down these track lists, that they have not named a song All Alone, because that is very possible. Not on that. nope. Nope. I don't think there's one on Rubber Factory called All Alone. No Fun, The Mize. Nope. I Cry Alone. That's probably what I was thinking of. But yeah, I think we're good. To name it All Alone, in the style of the Black Keys. Thank you for joining me. And now, All Alone in its entirety. I'm Roman Mars. Let's do it. And there you have it. Oh, good work today, everyone. We did it. Now, at the moment, I don't know when the next stream is going to be. I never really do, but in this instance, I may be moving into a new place. So I've got to get the new space set up and ready to go for the next stream. So the next stream will probably be in my new place and not in the basement. So everything might be a little bit closer together. It'll be easier. I can find a good camera spot that it can just stay in and whatnot, so I don't have to keep moving around. But thank you for joining me today. This has been wonderful. And I want to say thank you to anybody who's watching the post upload on YouTube as well. Thank you for watching, because, you know, it means that somebody thinks that this is kind of cool. And, you know, I like doing it. I really do. It gets the creative juices flowing, and it really is something that I enjoy doing, is trying to, you know, get to the root of what makes a band and just kind of dissect it from there. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna go and like eat something or something like that. Yeah, I'll probably eat something. And then I'll be back later with a mixing stream if I can. I'm gonna try to make it work, because I'd like to be able to mix through my speakers, as well as talk to you, but with the microphone there, like I want you to be able to hear all of the stuff that's going on. So I'm gonna figure that out, and then I'll probably be back in a couple hours or so. I'm just doing it, so jump on if you want to, and yeah, have a good day. This has been Treeskin. This is the 4th stream, and streamception! But also, I always try to have the track up by the next day, at least, on my Bandcamp page, and soon enough, I am going to get all of these tracks mastered and upload them all as singles to a Treeskin Spotify page. And I'm also hoping, if anybody has taken a look at the Bandcamp page, there's 3 EPs on that Bandcamp page that I made a couple of years ago that I never really did anything with. And I've remixed them, and I think I'm going to get that project mastered and also get that up onto Spotify as a full collection. So look forward to that in the future. And yeah, thank you for coming by. This has been wonderful today. So, see you later. See you next time.